So casting is very simplified definition is melting the metal and pouring into the predefined mold which is created by the pattern. Pattern is nothing but the product which you want to make, right? So it will be the same as like the product you want. So by using the pattern we are creating the cavities. Creation of cavities, you may use sand, or you may use some resin bless binders, or you may use any other materials to make the cavities. So after that, pouring the metal is the previous concept, but nowadays you can use anything in the liquid semi-solid stage, because it's not only associated with the metallic material, it's also associated with non-metallic material, because through casting process not only going to produce metallic component, we are producing non-metallic component also, right? So the definition will be like that: pouring the material in and melting the material, then pouring into the cavity will be that, right? So we have different variety of categories available under this casting. It's depend upon your choice, right? So this is the thing I am talking about. It's not only association with metallic component. Let us take. So here you can see the person is pouring the molten metal into the cavity. Strongly believe that this is a last wax or investment casting process, and you can see the investment mold is already done, and he is filling the cavities with molten metal. So another case, if you see here, metal is not in molten state but it is in liquid stage, and we are going to fill this gap, right? So it is a non-metallic, maybe plastic or polyester or any other material, because it's rubber, you can take that also, but this is a non-metallic things, and we are going to pour and you're going to get the shape. So general classification is only one, that is expandable or non-expandable. So similarly, why I'm telling here, we have expandable, it is non-expandable. Okay, so expandable means only one time only you can use the mold cavity for producing the component. Once the material is poured into that cavity and it is allowed for cooling, solidification is over means we have to remove the product from the mold, and the mold cannot be reused again. Okay. Non-expandable means we can reuse the mold once the product is cured. You can just, by using ejector pins, you can remove the workpiece, then again you can pull the cavities using the molten metal, then you can go for next production. So expandable castings will be come under the best, not come under, the best example is the sand casting process, whereas non-expandable means you can use permanent die casting. That's the best example. So let me come. So depending upon your choice, you can classify here by gravitational force or by pressure. On this category they have classified. Okay, as I told, expandable sand, graphite mold, plaster molds, ceramic molds, last foam molds, etc., etc. We have studied only last wax process, but here last foam also available, we will discuss. In permanent molds, by using the gravity force, whether the molten metals coming and occupy the space, or any other process, semi and automatic continuous casting process, where the molten metal is going to occupy the space continuously and we going to produce this type of process. We are going to make seamless tubes, and most probably students want to enlarge their knowledge, technical knowledge, means they can go and see the process in BHEL Trichy, because they have a separate section for seamless tube production. By the pressure, if you see the permanent die casting, the plunger is used and we are going to give the pressure, so the molten metal will pass through and through the gooseneck and it will occupy the mold, right? Sometimes the squeeze casting also we can use, yes, because the itself having the answer squeeze, that means you're going to give some force. Here you can see the some of the classifications: non-expandable, expandable, semi-permanent, permanent, etc., they have made. So this is about the classification. Apart from this classification, I want to tell a little bit more, because nowadays the gate exam and IAS exams are coming. So through that I have collected few things. Let me share it with you. One, they may ask which type, you may have the classification based on the production, the rate of production, and how much quantity you are producing, that also. Because sand casting, you may produce only one component at one time, whether it's a solid or split pattern. You can use, if you want, you can use skeleton pattern also, but you can produce only one. If you, whereas if you're going for lost wax pattern, etc., you may go for batch production. Similar type of objects within one attempt you can produce. As you can see, the same structure is repeated again, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the same is placed here 6. Assume that 6 plus 6 12, and here also 12, and here also 12. So 12 24 36 component has been produced within single attempt, and here also 36, here also 36, here also 36. So 4 into 36 has been produced within single attempt. So we call that as a batch production. So batch production have some limitation. There is certain number of limits or fall under the category of batch production. If you are going to produce the component for more and more people, the lot size is very bigger, means it go for mass production. Okay, this is one. And another one, casting process is coming under the category of neutral manufacturing process, or is, we can say, a zero wastage, because how much material you have melted over here is poured into that cavity, and all the molten metals are converted into workpiece. If anything is occupied in the riser and runway, it will become solidified, and we can reuse the material because there is no wastage. Okay, so if you are taking the machining process, very best example, there is a certain component will available, and you going to remove some material from that, and you going to give final shape. So that is negative manufacturing process.